Hey, Spinnernet, Mad Dog 2001. I'm going to apologize in advance. This might be, if it's a 2-minute video response or something like that, don't accept it because my camera's been cutting in and out. Sometimes, like last video I made took 15 minutes. I mean, it actually lasted. All the ones I made before that were like 2, 3, 4 minutes. Anyways, digressing. I saw your video on NFC North preview. I pretty much agree on most of it as far as where you predicted teams. The things I'm going to rebuttal on is you mentioned Cutler was overrated. And you said he showed flashes of brilliance and then he sucked. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But I'm going to defend Cutler here, and if anyone knows me, I absolutely don't like Cutler as far as a quarterback. I'm more like back when he came and played. I was the Jake Plummer guy. I said Plummer should have finished out the year. I think that would have helped his career a little bit more, but it is what it is. Anyways, Cutler to me out of the 2006 draft class, I think he is the best quarterback, at least success and numbers and ability to play. I mean, he's been proving it. Vince Young has been in the same boat, showed flashes of brilliance and then has sucked. Matt Leinart has just not really had a chance to prove anything yet. He has not really done much. But other than that, there really hasn't been anyone else out of that draft class. The thing about Cutler is last season, sure, was a bad year, but the guy can't block for himself. You know, he's not. When he throws a pass, he's not catching it. So I mean, and he doesn't play defense. So I mean, like, that's not his fault. And then in the previous year, in 2009 or 2008, the year that they went 8-8 and lost the Chargers and got crushed in that game, he did everything he needed to do to win football games. Sure, he didn't throw 3,000 or 300 yards every single game, but there were games where he needed to have 300 yards, 5 touchdown passes to win. If he played a mediocre game, he lost. That's why people say this guy is overrated. I don't think he is. I think he's a very good quarterback, and he has similar playing styles to Brett Favre, where, you know, he will throw into double coverage because he doesn't like getting sacked. I mean, he does have some of that negative qualities that Favre had. But he does, if you watch him play, he throws off the back foot like Favre does. He makes some brilliant passes that most quarterbacks wouldn't even attempt to throw. And as a Bronco fan, I do miss Cutler. Orton had a good year last year, but you know what? I think with Cutler, I think we would have gone over that hump because our offense was pitiful last year. We went from like the number 3 ranked offense to like bottom of the tier in like every major category. Also, when Cutler played for Denver, we pretty much had a shitty run game. I mean, we had backs in and out. Mike Shanahan never really valued the running back position. He never has. So, I mean, it is what it is. But there's a few things. The problems I had with Cutler is I don't think he's overrated at all. Is what you were saying, he's overrated. I don't think he's overrated. If anything, he's underrated or underappreciated. Because if this guy was overrated, you know, it would be tough for him to even land a job. The fact is, most football teams out there would take this guy. I mean, you go up and down. Besides, the Saints, the Vikings, right? Well, the Vikings I think would take him after Favre. But I mean, like, there are a lot of teams that would need, and he probably is. I don't want to say top. I mean, he could be top 10. I don't have a list in front of me, so I'm not going to go and say he's top 10. I'd have to look at it, and I'd get back to you on that. But he is a very, very good quarterback, and it wasn't that long ago where he was elite. So give him a pass last year. That's all I'm saying. He did the best he possibly could. I think he led the league in interceptions, but you know what? How many years did Favre throw 20 interceptions? I mean, the interception stat seems to be overrated anyways. Just because you throw a lot of interceptions does not make you bad. The greatest quarterback of all time, Brett Favre, which I don't agree with, has thrown more interceptions than any other quarterback in the history of the NFL. So there you go. Another thing, you talked about the Vikings and the Packers and which team was better, and you said they were both going to finish 12-4, and the Packers were going to get the tiebreaker. I could see the Packers winning the division. I could see the Vikings winning the division. But if they come down to a tie, I do not see the Packers beating the Vikings in the regular season. Brett Favre, for some reason, knows that the Green Bay defense is severely overrated in my estimate, and the fact that Kurt Warner exposed that defense in the playoffs. And oh yeah, I'm going to touch on another thing here. You mentioned the Vikings are chokers, and I know you say you hate cursed. I know you say you hate using that word, so I'm going to stay away from that word too. But being chokers, every year there's 32 or 31 chokers in the NFL. I will defend the Vikings here. I do not think that they are a choking team. I mean, most teams haven't even been put in the position the Vikings have been put in. So yeah, sure. Did they not capitalize on every single thing they could have done? No. The '98 playoffs, Anderson misses the field goal. The 2000 playoffs, they played pitiful, and the Giants just killed them. But I mean, up and down. Last year, it wasn't Brett Favre's fault they lost. I mean, what a Bernard Berrian fumble, Peterson fumbled twice. So sure, Favre threw the deciding interception, but the game should not have been that close to begin with. So I will defend Brett Favre on that fact. Everyone knows I'm like one of the Brett Favre haters, but I've been defending Favre as of late. Basically, with that, I don't see how, like you said, if the Packers end up with the same record with the Vikings, I just do not see them getting the tiebreaker. It doesn't make any sense because the Packers do not beat the Vikings. At least recently they haven't beat them. I think the Vikings have won 4 straight. So, yeah. The Vikings, I think, have the best team in the NFC. They have a very solid defense. Defensive line's got to be the best in the NFL. Offensively, they're not going to have Sidney Rice this year. That's going to be a big blow. But a sleeper pick in fantasy football this year is Javon Walker. I mean, Walker has some history with Favre, so and he's had a very good preseason. So even with the no Sidney Rice pretty much for the whole year, I think the Vikings are still better than the Packers, and I think the Packers are going to lose some random-ass games this year that the Vikings won't lose. I see the Vikings probably going 12-4, like you said, or even 13-3, and the Packers finishing 11-5, or possibly 12-4 also, like you said. I really see they're going to be in that area, but I will say the Vikings will be the better team. What else? Other than that, I mean, decent video. I like to see you make more videos like this anyways. You don't really do a lot on this channel. So, yeah, see what you think or whatever, and respond back, whatever. Doesn't really matter.